Okay,
and
yes,
I don't want to fight with you.
I don't want to fight with no. I'm just a little. I heard what was said back
doing
there, so please forgive me. So, but
here's
I
the
heard
deal.
some. Go ahead. What's the deal?
Public property. You
Go
know,
ahead.
you know better than I probably where
ahead.
you can be and cannot be. Correct me if I'm wrong at any time in that statement.
If they wanted me to leave, I just want to do a sunshine and get out of here. I'm not trying to antagonize y'all.
Well, I have a feeling they're going to tell you to fill it out online.
You have any ID on you? Getting calls of suspicious people again, so
Would that
I know
be
you're over there by the library, so...
Would that be a misdemeanor or a felony?
What?
Suspicion.
Well, you're...
Because according to 34285,
right,
3.5, I'm not.
Now you're on private property, though.
No, this is a sidewalk.
But you were over here earlier.
No, I was not.
So Juvenile Hall wanted to know why you're videotaping their building.
Just gathering content for a little story I'm working on.
Okay. Is that for like school or something?
Just I have a blog and such.
Okay. Do you have ID on you?
I prefer not to identify.
Okay, I'd like to see it. You're required by law to give me your ID.
Actually, unless I've been suspected of committing a crime, I'm not required to.
You're filming a government building.
From a public sidewalk.
This shows just how little accountability some officers have. Back again, learning nothing. But watch how one man, calm and confident, forces these same cops to back down and gets the public service he was being denied. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because standing your ground is how we stop unlawful trespassing and protect public access.
You want to talk to that officer? You haven't met her yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet up with her. They need to understand that this is a public building. They locked that, which is a fire hazard. Which is a fire hazard. Because it's supposed to. Because it. No, I actually walked out when they said they was going to call you, just to kind of ease them. The lady, she started going off right when I walked in.
You been up here before?
No, I never been up here. I was actually on my way to your police station. So.
Do you have a reason to be up here specifically, or?
Do I need a reason to be up here? Yeah, I actually do, and I let her know that though. I'm not gonna listen. I told her I'm up here to submit a sunshine request.
Sunshine request?
Absolutely. She right here. This is Miss Valerie.
Let me talk to her.
Can I get your name and your badge number?
Last name's Griffin, 1207.
How you doing, Miss Griffin?
Can I talk to her?
Yeah, you can talk to her.
Okay.
Pardon me, excuse me.
Can we go in your office and talk?
Yes.
Is your badge on? I mean, is your body camera on?
It is.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Okay. We talking in here?
Look at Miss Valerie. I've been nothing but respectful. Look at her.
Can you wait up?
I mean, this is the lobby area. I wait right here. She look like the lady that do the greens, tomatoes, chicken for Thanksgiving. That little thing, that little singing thing.
I don't know that I've seen that.
Yeah. Absolutely not, Aguayo. Let's get your captain up here, bro. Why do they run the same playbook every day? Why do at least some police do this everywhere they go? We're gonna have to get a captain. We're gonna have to get the chief or captain up here. Aguayo just asked her for her ID, Kansas City, and saying you can trespass him, that they trespassed me from the post office. That's negative. Y'all have no jurisdiction at the post office. That's federal ground. I'm very disappointed in Aguayo. I thought he was about to uphold the Constitution and protected what he took an oath to do. But I just heard that, what he said. And the ladies back here giving a false police report, that's the crime. I got everything recorded. Man. Let's listen. That takes. Hey, y'all, we definitely finna go to the police department and we finna get this body cam footage to see everything that's being said, because yeah, there's some lies going on back there, and they just listening to her. I've been nothing but respectful to Miss Valerie, and she's finna learn today who I am. She said, "I don't even know you're gonna learn today. This office most definitely gonna learn who I am after today." He in here trying to solicit a trespass on public property. Wow. They can pull that off on private property. This is actually a government building. You can't do that. Yeah, they can't turn a constitutional protected activity into a crime. Trying to create something to make me leave. I'm just disappointed, man. Let's see what this guy do. I'm trying to give everybody the opportunity, man. How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Can I get your name and badge number, please?
Schaefer, Captain, 9206.
Appreciate you for being professional.
All right.
I came here just simply...
Hold on. Let me talk to them first.
Okay,
and
go
I'll
ahead.
happily talk to you.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Okay, fair enough. They in there just lying. I got everything recorded, though, so
okay.
I had no problem showing you the video.
Okay. Hold on. Let me talk to them and I'll talk to you.
Go for it. I'm getting everybody body cam for today anyway. So I'm saying it really don't matter where I stand, does it?
No, but I feel like people in my back pocket. But you stand wherever you need to stand.
Okay.
Fair enough?
I like that. I like that. We doing good so far.
All right. Okay. Sunshine request. Yes. You know you got to file that at the department, correct?
I can actually do it here. They will actually submit it to whoever they need to do it for. I can do it.
Valerie said that she needs to put the form online, so she doesn't have it. So
okay.
She was requesting the leave, and then obviously we got called.
And to clarify, he didn't actually go into the other offices. He just got a foot in.
I just got 1 foot in, right in their doorway.
We've done this before.
Okay, yes,
sir. I don't want to fight with you.
I don't want to fight with no. I'm just a little. I heard what was said back there, so please forgive me. So, but I heard some. Go ahead. What's the deal?
Public property. You know better than I probably where you can be and cannot be. Correct me if I'm wrong at any time in that statement.
If they wanted me to leave, I just want to do a sunshine and get out of here. I'm not trying to antagonize y'all.
Well, I have a feeling they're going to tell you to fill it out online.
But I can do it in person. There's no standard form. I can do it on a blank piece of paper, hand it to her. She give me a stamp, make a copy. I am gone.
Does she know that she can do that?
She probably don't know that. She don't even know that I can record in there.
That's the point.
I'm here to educate though.
Well, but
so
not every. We're willing to learn from you, but not everybody is that open-minded. Does that make sense?
It do, but that make it.
Hold on, let's do this.
Go ahead.
There you go. I got mine off. Take yours off so I can see. How about that? Because I like CIs. It just makes it's more personable.
Well, what I'm teaching, everything I do is educational. I'm not even wearing my mask today. I'm teaching people there's no expectation.
I would though. It's cold.
There's no expectation of privacy in public. That's the only reason I wear that.
Okay.
Everything I do is educational.
Okay.
I'm not trying to antagonize you guys.
I'm not.
I told the lady.
Taking it that way.
I'm maybe if you hear my voice a little bit, it's because I heard what the lady been saying. I'm like, I gotta record it. Okay. I'm like, wait till Aguayo see the video. He gonna be like, you lied to me. Okay. I was very respectful to the lady because she's like, she's old enough to be my mother. Okay. I said, I'm just trying to do a sunshine and leave. Okay. She did ask me to leave. She said, can you do an appointment? I said, I'm right here. I said, well, if you can't help me now, I'm just want to take a look, get some of the things on the wall. And that's that. Y'all about to go on lunch break here in a little bit. Okay. So that's about to be her next thing, saying we on break to come back. So does she really want me to come back a whole nother day and do this all over?
No.
Or can we just handle this and do my sunshine?
What do you need to
my
do?
Sunshine request and I'm gone.
Okay, what are you going to write it on?
I asked her for a blank piece of paper.
What'd she say?
She told me she's not going to give it to me.
Okay, I'll give you a blank piece of paper.
That's all I need, man.
Okay.
That's
you want
simple.
a blank piece of paper?
And a pen. And I'll write it down, man, and I am gone.
Luckily, we get them free where we work.
And we actually pay for this stuff here, so I'm kind of. She just didn't want me here because I was recording, sir.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. People get all weary when they see a recorder. You know that. That's part of your thing. You realize.
I was just a little disappointed in you, Aguayo. Though you keep trying to solicit these trespasses on public property. You have to commit a crime. Mine is no crime. But I was
in a protected area, which was part of what was being alleged.
I wanted Aguayo to be like, hey, he's exercising his First Amendment right to record and I'm giving this back to you.
That's police department.
If I can keep it, I appreciate it.
Sure, you can keep it.
Yeah, I'm about to go in here and do this. Yes. Can she make a copy of that? Can I get a stamp received that she stamped and received it and get a copy of that, please? And then I'm gone. That's yours and that's his that didn't work.
I'll give him the non-working.
Okay, yeah, yes. See if they gave me my stamp, receipt, and copy.
Again, I'm sorry.
I never gave it.
Okay, what's your name? I'm Rod, and you are?
Kansas City Accountability.
Okay, hi Kansas. Do you have a first name though?
Kansas.
Your name is Kansas.
City Accountability,
Kansas
sir.
City Accountability.
If you got a business card on you, I can email you everything.
I would just doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I would have gave you that. I just never do it when I'm working.
That's fine. That's fine. So, see, when you ask me, I'm happily give you my name. Anyway, with that being said, the information's filed. She said she will work on it, and probably 10 to 15 business days, you should have some to reply.
Right. Could she stamp that she received it and give me a copy, or just sign it and give me a copy, please?
I'm giving you the verbal that I gave.
Okay, I mean, that works just
just
suffice.
So I handed it to her personally. Okay. She put it right next to all her paperwork, and she said, if we don't have anything else,
all right,
we could be done for the day.
All right, yes, sir. So
hold on, I'm trying to see if I look good on the video. Because I can look for being old.
You actually look. You said you look.
I'm pretty old.
You look
I've been
young.
doing this job 37 years.
What?
Yeah. Probably longer than you've been alive.
How long you said?
33 years.
No.
Yeah.
I'm older than that.
Okay. Well, good for you. You look good
I mean,
too.
you look good for your age, man. I really mean that, though.
Okay.
I was just gonna hang around, probably leave when you guys leave. I just don't want to give them.
I'm gonna talk to her.
That,
We're
that you
leaving,
ran
so
me
we
off.
can all leave together.
I'm gonna leave when you leave.
All right, fantastic. Who you got?
I'm just glad everything got worked out. So, you know, that's what's up. But I'm finna get the body cam footage. I can't really make out what was said. I just rather, in a situation like that, why you come in and just say, hey, instead of telling her, hey, we trespassed him, we run into him, he's a nuisance, he attacked. Hey, he's just exercising his First Amendment right. He has every right to be here. As long as he's not going nowhere that's restricted or stopping you guys from doing your work, there's really nothing we can do. Instead of realizing there's nothing he can do and say, hey, well, do you want to trespass? And then come out here and try to get my ID and try to get me for refusing. Come on, like y'all running the same playbook. And I'm like, I want y'all to do good. I understand that she don't understand. And we need you guys to come in because it means something when you say it. When you come in here and say, hey, he has every right to do that, that means way more than me saying I have every right to do so. They don't believe me. So I need you guys. So yes, and I appreciate you. So yeah. Yes.
So I'm gonna do something. This is crazy, but go with me because this is about being proactive. Where you going next?
The police department. I told you that.
Oh, okay. No,
I gotta go talk to Nina.
I missed that part.
I gotta go talk to Nina.
Talk to Nina.
Oh yeah.
All right, fantastic.
Because I heard some stuff that yeah. And you said you don't have a business card.
No, I told him a business card somewhere.
Do you mind writing it down for me though?
No, but I'll hand it to you.
Okay.
I'll give you my business card.
Okay.
I get them free where I work, kind of like that pen I gave you. Remember?
Yeah. You know, I pay for it, so.
So do I. I pay taxes.
You double dipping.
Yup, a little bit.
Hey, this is kind of, look at this. This is, look, can't see if we see, you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Hey, I gotta show other people this. Y'all gotta step your cars up. Hey, y'all have a blessed day, man, and stay safe out there. Yes, I appreciate you.
An arrogant cop tries to flex his badge, demanding ID, lying about the law, and barking useless orders. But this time, he picks the wrong guy. Watch how he gets schooled and put right back in his place. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because when you know your rights, no badge can bully you.
Howdy.
How you doing today?
Alright. You have any ID on you? Getting calls of suspicious people again, so
Would that
I know
be
you're over there by the library, so.
Would that be a misdemeanor or a felony?
What?
Suspicion.
Well, you're
Because according to
trespassing.
34285,
Right, but
3.5, I'm not.
now you're on private property though.
No, this is a sidewalk.
But you were over here earlier.
No, I was not.
Okay, that's what they're.
The camera doesn't lie.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Are you gonna let me see your camera?
So according to this,
Are you gonna let me see your camera?
no,
Okay, so I don't know.
Not-
You're
not
going
me.
against theirs, right?
not unless you're going to
So,
arrest me for
Do
something.
you have your ID on you?
This code right here, specifically,
nothing to
yes,
do- what does it say?
huh?
What
It's
is it?
35285.3.5,
Right.
failure to ID. It only says I have to ID if I'm being charged with a crime. Do you suspect me of a crime?
Yeah, trespassing.
Show, I need, what's your reasonable articulable
You have
suspicion?
ID.
What is your reasonable articulable
asking you for ID.
suspicion?
I'm asking you for ID.
What is your reasonable articulable
Because I asked
suspicion?
you.
I'm not under any requirement.
What's that?
That's my Fifth Amendment right.
What's that got to do with
I'm
it?
invoking it to remain silent. I'm not going to waive it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to speak to you without my lawyer at this point.
Well, you want to call him?
I don't answer questions.
See, now you don't want to talk to him. I'm going to read this, okay? You want to go?
What's your badge number, sir?
Property?
What's your badge number, sir?
3900.
You've been very professional. Thank you.
I know. See, like I said, the complaint we had was using videoing cars in here.
What's your name, sir?
Where?
What's your badge number?
6671.
Are you ILEA certified?
Yes.
So you would know about asking for ID.
You don't want to answer mine,
You're a
I'm not
public
gonna
servant.
answer yours.
You have to.
No,
You're under
I'm
an obligation. You're a public servant.
No, you can talk
Public
to my
servant.
chief.
Bring him down here. I'd love
No,
to.
You can talk to him.
Okay, I'll go there next.
Stop in it right down the road.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in the building, but if he wants to come outside, that'd be great.
That's a public building. You can go to the lobby. It's fine.
Well, this is a public building. I mean,
But it's also private property.
it uses government resources.
But it's
So,
also
but
private
if they said I'm over here, this is still public access. You realize that?
private property.
You,
If they don't want you on their property,
look,
they can say
handicaps. Nobody's come out here and said that, and I have to be given the right to leave. Nobody's come out here and asked me to leave. If you're going to say for trespassing, if you're going to say trespassing, I have to be given the right to leave. Nobody's asked me to leave.
Well, when I was talking to you earlier,
Yes, sir.
it was a little unusual because we don't have someone, walk around videotape, so just out of the ordinary. Why I was down there earlier, so I haven't been in to talk with them there, but it could be that they're a little bit afraid to come out because you never know these days what'll happen.
What do you mean what'll happen? I have I have a Nikon, not a Canon.
I understand, but but I'm just saying, with how they, people doing things nowadays. You don't know if somebody's got a weapon on them, if they're gonna. If they're
I'm totally unarmed.
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you that. I mean, I have no weapons on me whatsoever.
Because sometimes people do a lot of research, before they. That's why
This is Division of Family Resources, not to mention the WIC building.
Oh,
This is a government entity. If they rent space out of here and they have a public parking area, it's public.
Well, it's public access.
Yeah, public access, which means I have a right to be on it if I need to be on it.
Right.
If I want to walk through here and walk around and do the horseshoe, that's fine. That's my business to be on here to see if the WIC office is maintaining their property.
Okay.
If the taxpayer dollars is getting the trash out of here, making sure it's not, there's not enough parking. Everybody's parking on the streets. Everybody's parking where they're not supposed to be parking. So if I wanted to walk through here and count all the parking spaces, nobody can tell me no. Okay. I have business on the property if I was even on the property, which I was not.
You stayed on the sidewalk?
Other than when a guy was walking with his child, I entered the public easement area over on this side.
There, yeah. Okay.
Yes. I've never where you're standing.
Right. I know, but you understand.
Over on this side.
There, yeah. Okay.
Yes. I've never where you're standing.
Right. I know, but you understand. He just asked you for ID to know who you are, so we know you're not a convicted felon, criminal, anybody that would have bad intentions.
How do I know you're not?
Well, because I am in uniform.
Well, that doesn't mean you don't have any internal affairs, investigations upon you or him for criminal activity.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we wouldn't be working the street if we had criminal activity suspicion.
I have no idea. I don't know what your policies are.
Okay. I know you say you're not from around here, so. So you from Indiana?
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's just what I'm saying is we would be gone already. Just show an ID, you're legit, everything's cool, we're out of here.
But I haven't broken a law.
I understand, but that's what the way the call came in about being in it.
But where's the proof?
We'll figure that out. Don't worry.
I'll say, where's the proof?
I understand that's what he was checking.
Okay. Am I being detained?
I believe so.
So I'm free to go.
He's got your card there.
Well, I've got a dozen more.
Do you?
I just need that one because it has his fingerprints on it.
Okay. Sure.
Or he can have it, whichever I determine.
Yeah, it's your card, so.
But I'm not being detained.
I'm not detaining you, no.
Is he detaining me?
He didn't say he was, so. It's kind of.
And the other guy, where's the red vehicle? The fire commissioner. You just guys allow him to park all over the sidewalk whenever he, kind of like this guy, to block the sidewalk. I noticed down there at the fire station, him and another vehicle block.
The red one?
Yeah, they block. I'm handicapped, so they block the pedestrian throughway so that way citizens have to walk in the street.
I've seen that. I know what you're talking about.
Not only that, but this guy did it too when he pulled up to go talk to him. Oh, you even got that on footage. This guy, the K9 unit.
K9? Okay.
Yeah, pulled in sideways, backed in.
I don't know who started that down there. Gosh, that's been ever since I've been here. The fire chiefs always pull. I don't know why they like to park in that front.
So they're exempt from the law.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is there's not. It's a whole driveway out. The sidewalk's not. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's
like
tapered.
This.
Yeah, it's tapered. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
But it's still a pedestrian throughway, because there's no garage door in the way.
Not in front of it. Right. Not in front of it.
Right. Thank you, sir. Am I being detained?
We're just waiting to see if they want you no trespass.
So am I being detained?
You are till they tell us.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
What did I just tell you?
I'd like your supervisor out here. Call a supervisor because you're illegally detaining me. You cannot show me what I'm doing wrong. Are you illegally
find you.
detaining me?
We'll find you.
I'm in a
am I
bright.
holding you?
I'm a bright freaking vest. Of course you're going to find me.
Am I holding you?
I'm asking if I'm being detained.
Am I holding you?
Am I being detained?
Am I detaining you?
Am I being detained?
Am I detaining
Or
you?
am I free to go?
Bye.
If I'm free to go, I'm free to stay, right?
Bye. On the sidewalk, right?
I've always been on the sidewalk
Okay.
or the public easement.
How long's your battery good for?
Considering I have several battery backups, about 18 hours.
At least you got a nice day.
Excuse me, sir.
Huh?
I said, excuse me, I don't want to walk between you guys and get shot or tased.
Well, I guarantee
I'm gonna go
we're
that
not gonna
way.
Shoot at each other with you walking between.
Well, I just want to make sure I'm giving you notice because I want to see if there's any emergency lights on.
Plenty path there. Emergency lights.
Yeah, I mean he's well. A lot of times the officers, no lights in the front, emergency lights in the rear. He doesn't have any emergency lights. He's parked in a no parking area. I just want to see.
No parking sign?
You tell me.
I see a no parking sign.
Okay. I do see him blocking the driveway though. The entry.
Where?
Right there on the curve. If I was parked there, I'd get a ticket. But I don't see the emergency.
Okay. All right. Well, they don't want you on the property, so as long as you stay off the property.
Well,
you're good.
don't shoot anybody, don't tase anybody, and don't stick your dog, and don't beat your wife either.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
You are clear not to go on the property, correct?
You are clear. Don't beat your wife today. Don't beat your wife. Don't smoke crack. I mean, you understand those things, right? Don't drink and drive.
These days, some cops act like the law doesn't apply to them, just barking orders and demanding ID like it's a habit they can't break. But watch what happens when they run into someone who actually knows the law and refuses to back down. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because the only way to stop abuse of power is to expose it.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great, thank you.
So Juvenile Hall wanted to know why you're videotaping their building.
Just gathering content for a little story I'm working on.
Okay. Is that for like school or something?
I have a blog and such.
Okay. Do you have ID on you?
I prefer not to identify.
Okay, I'd like to see it. You're required by law to give me your ID.
Actually, unless I've been suspected of committing a crime, I'm not required to.
You're filming a government building.
From a public sidewalk.
Right, that's
which is
fine.
perfectly legal.
Right. I have the right to detain you, okay? And you're required to identify yourself.
Well,
Okay? You're not being charged with anything.
I
You're not
understand that.
innocent.
I understand that, officer, but I do understand California law. Unless you have reasonable suspicion that I've actually committed a crime,
Okay.
filming a government building from a public sidewalk, which is protected by the First Amendment, is not a crime.
No, but I have the right to detain you to figure out what's going on, okay?
Okay.
You're addressed in all BDUs. You got a video camera, 2 video cameras, okay?
Okay.
And Juvenile Hall is concerned. Okay, if no crime is committed, then no big deal, okay? But I do have the right to identify you. You are required to give me your ID.
No, I'm not. Unless you have reasonable suspicion that I've actually committed a crime, I'm not required to identify myself. No, I'm not.
Being detained.
Okay, officer, what am I being detained for?
For suspicion of why you're dressed and acting all weird in front of Juvenile Hall.
Well, suspicion is not a crime.
Right, it's not probable cause. It's reasonable suspicion to detain you to investigate what's going on.
Okay, and I just told you what's going on. Well, officer, at this point, I'd like to speak to a supervisor, so I would ask that you call a sergeant out here.
Absolutely.
How you doing, dude?
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Good.
Just gathering content for a little story.
What?
Just gathering content, like B-roll for a little story I'm doing.
Cool. What's the story on?
It's just for a blog I write.
What's the blog about?
I'd rather not say it this time because it's not published yet. So, you know, just getting some B-roll.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, but you understand why we came out here?
I understand.
Okay. Do you think it's a little weird that you're out here filming Juvenile Hall?
Okay. Well, I've been on the public sidewalk the whole time.
No, that's
I
fine.
haven't gone
Not
on
saying-
any
not saying
restricted
anything's
areas.
wrong with that,
Okay.
but we just want to make sure that you're not coming out here trying to snoop around and do something, because people tend to do reconnaissance, you know?
Yeah.
You want to talk to the sergeant, I take it?
Yeah, because like the other officer, you know, she asked for my ID. I respectfully declined because, you know, I know what my rights are. Unless there's reasonable suspicion that a crime has actually been committed, I'm not required to identify myself. So the other officer here is suggesting that she has the right to ID me. I'm saying no. So at this point, I think it would be best to have a supervisor come out and we can clarify all this.
That's fine.
Okay.
Whatever. Make it easy that way.
So just to clarify, I am being legally detained. I'm not free to leave.
As far as I know, you haven't done anything criminal. We just asked who you were.
Okay.
That's all.
The other officer here said that I was being detained. So.
I think it's suspicious that you're out here filming a juvenile hall.
Okay.
Yeah, I was detaining you to find out who you are.
Oh, so I am being detained.
I am detaining you.
I'm not free to leave then. Okay. All right.
I'm not accusing you of any crime or anything. I'm just trying to figure out why you're out here.
Okay. And like I said, I understand that. You got a call for service. You have to come out and investigate. I explained to you what I was doing. But, you know, and you've even admitted that I'm not doing anything wrong. There's no crime being committed. Then I really don't understand why I'm being detained then.
Do you want to speak to our sergeant?
If I'm being detained, yes.
Sergeant Laura, Santa Maria Police Department. Today's date is 1/23 of 2017. The time is 16:13 hours. Are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I want a stamp too, okay?
Okay.
How can we help you?
Nothing. I just, your officers made contact with me. I explained to them I'm gathering content for a little story I'm doing.
Alrighty.
And one of your officers, she wanted to see my ID. I told her I'd prefer not to. And
Actually, we do have the right to ask you for your ID because they call us here. It is a juvenile hall facility here, so we do have your authority. Okay, so if you're doing a story, yes, we do have that right, sir.
Okay, and I explained to your officer that unless I understand California law, I've been through this before.
Okay.
Unless you have reasonable suspicion that I've actually committed a crime.
Hear me out, okay?
Okay.
Listen to her.
So we have people that do reconnaissance on police, on our juvenile hall facilities, jail facilities, people that gather information, take video surveillance, try to identify us, identify our vehicles, and do all that kind of stuff for malicious purposes, okay? And I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing out here. You're saying that you're doing this for a blog or whatever. So we're detaining you to figure out whether or not you're doing this for malicious purposes or completely innocent purposes. And if it's for completely innocent purposes, that's totally fine. But we do have the right to identify you, okay? And if we ID you and everything's good to go, then you're fine.
And I have a right to decline because I know the law. I know my right. I'm not trying to be confrontational or anything. But unless you have reasonable suspicion that I've actually committed a crime, I'm not required
listen to the officer
to identify myself.
So the way a detention works, right? We don't have probable cause at this point. The reason we detain people is to investigate something to see whether or not a crime has been committed. So when we detain somebody, at that point, we do not know whether or not a crime has been committed or not yet. Okay, it's during the detention we do our investigation to identify that person and find out why they're there doing what they're doing. And if no crime has been committed, there's no probable cause, and that person is free to go. But during a detention, that's when we do our investigation. At that point, the person is required to identify themselves by law. No crime has been committed that I can tell at this point. You're right, that's correct.
Okay.
But we still have the right to detain you and to identify you, okay?
Okay, but what probable cause is there to suspect that I have committed a crime? I'm filming from a public
Sir, if there was
sidewalk.
probable cause, you would be in handcuffs already.
Right.
That's what she's trying to explain to you.
Okay.
But we do have, exactly, a detention just to investigate. And we didn't come out here on our own. They contacted us.
Yeah, you got to call for service.
Okay?
I understand
so,
that.
And if you know the law and everything, you know that part too, okay? And bottom line is, the officer's right, and we do have a job to do, obviously. Taxpayers pay us to do a job, and this is part of the job.
Okay.
Okay? So all she's asking for identification, you know who we're talking to. She's not asking for too much.
Okay.
Okay?
And I'm respectfully declining.
Okay. Well, we do need an ID, sir.
Okay, well, I'm not going to provide identification. Like I said, I've been through this before. You know, I've been through similar situations.
Well, this way and start our camera too, so that way, I mean, everything's recorded. Okay.
Okay.
Sir? So. And what was the call? All right, this is what's going to happen.
Okay, sir.
Okay? We're going to stand around till you take care of your business. Okay? And then whatever you need for your blog, do the filming here from here. And obviously that's private property over there.
Okay.
And then then leave when you're ready. Okay? But we're going to stand around here to make sure that the facility is safe.
Okay, that's
because
perfectly
there are
fine.
kids in here, and that's our main concern here. Kids. Okay? So we don't know what you're doing here, and we don't feel comfortable just leaving you here. So we are going to stick around. And then when you're ready when you're done, then you can leave.
Actually, I'm already ready.
Well, then we can get going then, okay?
Okay.
And everything will be documented. We're writing a report and everything, all the pictures and everything. So we have our own little information too, okay?
Okay.
All right, so whenever you're ready, you can get out of here or whatever you're going to do.
So I'm no longer being detained? I'm free to go?
You're free to go.
Okay.
Watch how ego-driven officers get put in check by citizens who know their rights. No yelling, no backing down. Just the law shutting down the lies. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because standing firm is how we protect public freedom.